Hey, Vikings Nation. Skol. Baby, we're diving into some tough news today after our thrilling Week 1 comeback against the Bears. Our boys fought hard for that 27-24 dub, but the injury bug hit us like a blitzing linebacker. With a massive showdown against the Atlanta Falcons looming on Sunday Night Football, the Vikings injury report is looking rough. Who's banged up? Who's stepping up? And can our squad rally through the storm? Buckle up, because we're breaking it all down with the latest Vikings news, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss a single detail. Let's get into it. How worried are you about these injuries? Drop your thoughts in the comments. The Minnesota Vikings left Soldier Field with a win, but it came at a brutal cost. We were already missing key starters like left tackle Christian Darrisaw, wide receiver Jordan Addison, and safety Harrison Smith in Week 1, but now the injury list is growing like a bad habit. Head coach Kevin O'Connell dropped some heavy updates on Wednesday at TCO Performance Center, and Vikings fans, it's time to brace ourselves. With a short week to prepare for the Falcons, the purple and gold are facing a depth test that could define our early season. Stick with me as we unpack 15 critical updates on the Vikings injury situation, from who's out to who's got a shot to play. I've scoured the latest from Vikings.com and other trusted sources to bring you the freshest scoop. If you're as passionate about the Vikings as I am, you're going to want to hear this. Let's dive into the first wave of news and see what's cooking in Egan. Our star linebacker Blake Cashman is sidelined with a hamstring injury, and it's a gut punch. Cashman was a beast last season with 112 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and 4.5 sacks in just 14 starts. He went down in the third quarter chasing Bears QB Caleb Williams, and the early word is he could miss several weeks. Kevin O'Connell confirmed Cashman's getting an MRI, and the initial vibe isn't great. Think multiple games, maybe even up to the Week 6 bye. This guy's the heart of our defense, wearing the green dot to relay calls from Brian Flores. Without him, we're leaning on veteran Eric Wilson, who stepped up big against Chicago with 5 tackles and a tipped punt. But can Wilson and Ivan Pace Jr. hold the fort without Cashman's playmaking? Vikings fans, how confident are you in our linebacker depth? Let's hear it. The Star Tribune's Ben Goesling reports Cashman's absence could stretch into October, which stings when you remember how our defense struggled without him last year, giving up nearly 400 yards in losses to the Rams and Lions. With the Falcons' high-powered offense coming to US Bank Stadium, we need our D to be on point. Stay tuned, because we've got more on who's stepping up to fill those massive cleats. Running back Ty Chandler's also out, dealing with a knee injury that's got no clear timeline. Chandler gutted it out against the Bears, delivering a clutch 33-yard kickoff return that helped seal the win by eating up clock. O'Connell called him so tough, but said he'll miss time, possibly weeks. That's a blow for our special teams and backfield depth, especially with Chandler as our RB3 and a key returner. With Chandler sidelined, rookie Miles Price and potentially Xavier Scott, who's back at practice this week, will handle kick returns. Scott could also step up as the third-string running back behind Aaron Jones and Cam Akers. But losing Chandler's speed and toughness hurts. His 33 yards per return average was electric on Monday. How do you think our backfield will hold up without him? The question now is whether Scott can step into that RB3 role seamlessly or if the Vikings might look to a free agent like Khalil Herbert, recently cut by the Colts. Vikings news is buzzing about possible roster moves, so let me know in the comments. Who would you want to see in purple to back up our running game? Cornerback Jeff Okuda's status is shaky after a concussion on the final play against the Bears. He took some friendly fire during Chicago's desperate hook and ladder attempt, and now he's in the concussion protocol. O'Connell says Okuda is doing well, but with a short week before the Falcons, it's a race against time to clear the protocol. If Okuda can't go, Dwight McGlothern is likely next in line for snaps at corner. Okuda had 2 tackles in the win, but his role as our number 3 corner is critical against Atlanta's passing attack, led by Kirk Cousins and Drake London. Can McGlothern step up against his former quarterback? It's a juicy storyline, Vikings fans. Share your predictions below. With Okuda's availability up in the air, the Vikings secondary could be tested. Atlanta's receivers are no joke, and without Okuda, we're relying on younger guys to hold it down. Keep an eye on Vikings.com for updates on his progress through the protocol, because this could be a game-changer for Sunday night. Edge rusher Andrew Van Ginkel is another big name in the concussion protocol. A fresh blow after he racked up 5 tackles and 2 passes defended against the Bears. Van Ginkel's veteran presence is huge for our pass rush, and his absence would sting against a mobile QB like Atlanta's Desmond Ridder or Michael Penix Jr. O'Connell's hopeful, but the clock's ticking. If Van Ginkel can't play, rookie Dallas Turner, who showed flashes in Week 1, could see a bigger role. Bo Richter or Chaz Chambliss might also get some snaps, but Turner's the one to watch. He's got that first-round fire. How excited are you to see Turner unleash chaos if Van Ginkel's out? Drop a comment. Vikings news is buzzing about Turner's potential to break out, especially after his solid debut. The Falcons' O-line isn't invincible, so this could be a chance for our young edge rusher to shine. Let's see if he can bring the heat and keep Kirk Cousins uncomfortable all night long. Left tackle Christian Darrisaw is ramping up in practice after missing Week 1 while recovering from last season's ACL tear. O'Connell said he's doing very well, and there's a real shot he could suit up against the Falcons. Darrisaw's one of the best young tackles in the game, and getting him back would be massive for protecting J.J. McCarthy's blindside. If Darrisaw's not ready, Justin Skule will likely start again at left tackle. Skule held his own against Chicago, but facing Atlanta's pass rush is a different beast. Vikings fans, how much of a difference do you think Darrisaw makes for our O-line? Let's talk about it in the comments. The latest from Vikings.com suggests Darrisaw was close to playing in Week 1, so the extra few days might be enough to get him back on the field. Keep your fingers crossed, because a healthy Darrisaw could be the key to keeping our offense humming against a tough Falcons front. Safety Harrison Smith, a Vikings legend, is also ramping up after missing Week 1 due to a personal health issue. O'Connell's optimistic, saying Smith's conditioning is coming along, and he could be back for Sunday. Smith's been one of the NFL's top safeties for years, and his return would stabilize our secondary big time. Without Smith against the Bears, Theo Jackson and Jay Ward stepped up, but there's no replacing Hitman's instincts and leadership. Smith told reporters his situation is fluid, but he's focused on helping the team, not rushing back too soon. What's your take on Smith's potential return, Vikings Nation? The Vikings didn't put Smith on injured reserve, a sign they expect him back soon. With Atlanta's passing game looming, getting Smith's veteran savvy on the field could be a game-saver. Check Vikings.com for updates on his practice status this week. Wide receiver Jordan Addison's still out, serving the second of a 3-game suspension, so we won't see him until Week 4 at the earliest. His absence leaves a hole in our passing game, with J.J. McCarthy leaning heavily on Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson. It's a bummer, but it's a chance for guys like Jalen Nailor to step up. Nailor showed some spark in Week 1, and with full participation in practice this week, he could see more targets. How do you think our receiving core holds up without Addison against a tough Falcons secondary? Drop your thoughts below. The good news? The Vikings' depth at receiver is being tested early, and guys like Nailor and Ty Felton could make some noise. Keep an eye on Vikings news for updates on how McCarthy's spreading the ball around without one of his top weapons. Running back Xavier Scott and defensive tackle Elijah Williams are back at practice this week after missing the Bears game. Scott's return is huge with Ty Chandler out, as he could slide into the RB3 role and help on special teams. Williams, meanwhile, adds depth to our D-line, which we'll need against Atlanta's run game. Scott's ankle injury kept him out of Week 1, but he's listed as a full participant in Wednesday's walkthrough. Williams, dealing with a hamstring issue, is also back to full practice. Can these guys make an immediate impact? Let's hear your predictions, Vikings fans. With the Vikings facing a short week, getting these depth players back is a lifeline. Scott's versatility and Williams' size could be key in a physical matchup against the Falcons. Check Vikings.com for updates on their game status as Friday's designations roll in. Eric Wilson's the man stepping into Blake Cashman's shoes at inside linebacker, and he showed he's up for it against the Bears. With 5 tackles, a tackle for loss, and a tipped punt that swung momentum, Wilson proved he's more than just a backup. He even took over the green dot duties, relaying Flores calls like a pro. O'Connell praised Wilson, saying, "I don't know if we win the football game unless you have Eric Wilson." That's high praise, and with Cashman out, Wilson's role alongside Ivan Pace Jr. is massive. But can he keep up that level against Atlanta's offense? What do you think, Vikings Nation? If Cashman's absence stretches into October, Wilson might be locked in as a starter with rookies Kobe King and Austin Keys as depth. The Vikings linebacker core is getting tested early, so let's show some love for Wilson in the comments. Guys earning his stripes. Dallas Turner's name is one to watch if Andrew Van Ginkel can't clear the concussion protocol. The rookie edge rusher, a first-round pick, flashed his potential in limited snaps against Chicago. With Van Ginkel's status uncertain, Turner could be in for a breakout game against the Falcons. Turner's speed and athleticism make him a nightmare for offensive tackles, and Atlanta's O-line has shown cracks. If he gets extended playing time, we might see some highlight reel sacks. Vikings fans, are you hyped for Turner to step up? Let's get that energy in the comments. Bo Richter and Chaz Chambliss are also in the mix for edge snaps if Van Ginkel's out, but Turner's the one with the big upside. Keep checking Vikings news for updates on Van Ginkel's protocol progress, because this could be Turner's moment to shine. Dwight McGlothern's ready to step up if Jeff Okudah can't play, and this undrafted rookie's got some swagger. He's next in line for snaps at corner, and facing his former QB Kirk Cousins adds some spice to the matchup. Can McGlothern hold his own against Atlanta's receivers like Drake London? The Vikings secondary is already thin with Okudah's status uncertain, so McGlothern's role could be huge. He's shown flashes in camp, but this would be his first big NFL test. What's your confidence level in our young DBs, Vikings Nation? Drop it below. With the Falcons' passing attack no joke, the Vikings need all hands on deck. Vikings.com reports Okudah is still in protocol, so McGlothern's prep this week is critical. Stay locked in for updates as we get closer to game day. Justin Skewell's likely back at left tackle if Christian Darrisaw isn't cleared, and he held his own against the Bears. Protecting J.J. McCarthy's blind side is no small task, but Skewell's got experience. Still, Atlanta's pass rush, led by guys like Grady Jarrett, will test him. Darrisaw's return would be a game-changer, but Skewell's ready to grind if needed. O'Connell's confident in his backup, but the Falcons' front seven is relentless. How do you feel about Skewell stepping up again, Vikings fans? Share your thoughts. The latest from Vikings.com suggests Darrisaw's trending toward playing, but Skewell's prep is key either way. With a short week, every practice rep counts. Let's see if our O-line can keep McCarthy clean against a tough Atlanta D. Theo Jackson and Jay Ward are set to see more snaps if Harrison Smith isn't back, and they held it down in Week 1. Jackson and Ward brought energy to the secondary against the Bears, but Smith's veteran presence is unmatched. Can these young guys keep it rolling? Smith's fluid return timeline means we might see him Sunday, but Jackson and Ward are ready if not. The Falcons' passing game will test our safeties, especially with Kirk Cousins airing it out. What's your take on our safety depth, Vikings Nation? Vikings News is hyping Smith's potential return as a massive boost, and I'm with them. Keep an eye on practice reports from Vikings.com, because Hitman suiting up could flip the script against Atlanta's offense. Miles Price, our rookie kick returner, is stepping into a bigger role with Ty Chandler out. His speed was on display in camp, and now he's paired with Xavier Scott to handle returns. Chandler's 33-yard return was clutch, so Price has big shoes to fill. Price had a limited role in Week 1, but with a knee issue not slowing him down, he's listed as a limited participant. He's ready to break out. Can our rookie spark some big returns against the Falcons? Let's hear your hype in the comments. Special teams could be a difference-maker Sunday night, and Price's explosiveness might give us an edge. Vikings.com has him as a player to watch, so let's see if he can flip the field and set up J.J. McCarthy for success. The Vikings' depth is getting a serious test early, but this is why we build rosters with guys ready to step up. Eric Wilson, Dallas Turner, Dwight McGlothern, and others have a chance to prove themselves against a tough Falcons squad. O'Connell's preaching next man up, and so far, the backups have delivered when it counts. With a short week and a primetime showdown, the Vikings need to lean on their culture, and coaching to navigate this injury mess. Kevin O'Connell's 36-19 record as head coach shows he knows how to rally the troops. How confident are you in our depth, Vikings Nation? The latest buzz from Vikings News says our practice sessions this week are intense, with guys like Turner and McLaughlin stepping up. Sunday night's gonna be a battle, but I'm pumped to see who rises to the occasion. Let's talk about it below. Vikings Nation, we're staring down a huge Week 2 test against the Falcons, and our squad's gotta dig deep. Injuries to Blake Cashman, Ty Chandler, Jeff Okudah, and Andrew Van Ginkel hurt. But with Christian Darrisaw and Harrison Smith trending up, there's hope. Who's your X Factor for Sunday night? Drop it in the comments and let's get the Skol chant going. This team's got heart, and with J.J. McCarthy leading the charge after his NFC honor for that comeback, I'm believing in the purple and gold. Smash that like button, subscribe, and share this with every Vikings fan you know. Let's pack the comments with your predictions and keep the Vikings news hype alive. Skol Vikings! Let's ride into US Bank Stadium ready to roar. Hit that bell for more updates, and I'll see you in the next one. Who's ready to see our boys light up the Falcons? Let's go!